Do watching anime, you guys must know who this young man is, right? There's a young man, nicknamed Loser 400. However, at the end of part 4, he was about to get out of the loser nickname, and tried to express his feelings to Chizuru. But surprisingly, she found out about his intention to confess, so she always tries to avoid him, and doesn't give them any alone time. Can Kazuya express his feelings in part 5? Let's continue watching together, as it releases a new episode every week. Episode 1, this is the period of Nanami's life. She was born and raised in a traditional family. Her stuffed bear could be considered important to her. But as soon as her father didn't like it, he threw it away immediately. Having meals with influential families is just a daily routine. In middle and high school, she transferred to a girls' school, a school that suits her parents' wishes. Every day, the room is cleaned upon returning from school. Of course, unnecessary things were thrown out by her parents. This happened when she was very young, so she feels quite normal about it. The old phone her mother gave her is what she uses to kill time. There's something that dad never expected his daughter to have a soul of freedom within her. Since then, she started interacting with boys, even dating a regular guy. Normal dates. Even arguments on normal days became more frequent as love grew bigger. Teenagers are very bold in promising to bring happiness to the one they love later on. Time just keeps passing by. Her desire to live according to her own wishes grows larger. However, things didn't go as she hoped. Her father asked her to break up with her boyfriend to marry someone else. This marriage had no love, only political significance. The weak can do nothing but submit to the strong. Sometimes, she thought about running away with a lover. However, becoming independent in college was impossible. She didn't have any money or experience to support herself. After some time thinking about love, she realized that what she was doing and wanted to do was chaos. Even seeing love as just a spice to make outings more fun. So when she saw anyone in love, she wanted to ruin their relationship. Go back to the present. Nanami wants to use money to hire Chizuru to follow. The purpose is to tell about the girlfriend hiring her. Nanami's decisive action makes Chizuru feel confused. Over here, Yuka still waits for Chizuru and Kazuya to appear. But she has been waiting in vain, and they are nowhere to be seen. Afraid that those two might be up to something suspicious, she immediately runs off to look for them. Just then, Kyuji appears. He has something to tell Yuka. However, Yuka needs to urgently find Chizuru and Kazuya. She says it's a bit troublesome and wants to leave. Suddenly, Kyuji jumps into the pond, then does some awkward actions that no one wants to get close to. After observing for a while, Yuka changes her mind and stays with Kyuji. Yuka's cuteness makes the surrounding boys jealous. At the same time, Nanami brings Chizuru up to meet the lady. Before entering, Nanami wants to share some things with Chizuru. Nanami knows about Chizuru's mother passing away. Besides mooching off Nanami, she will shift all responsibilities onto Kazuya. Yuka feels a bit uncomfortable at this moment. She stayed hoping Kyuji would say something. However, he just sat in silence for the rest of the time. Zuka thought she might be blamed for lacking professionalism, but Kyuji didn't blame her. He feels happy to have met Zuka, and isn't angry about what happened before. At this moment, Nanami and Chizuru are in a private room. Nanami feels that the ring her grandmother gave to Chizuru is not beautiful, even criticizing Kazuya's family. A good-looking young man, with an ugly right arm asking a beautiful actress out. Looks positive from the outside, but honestly it's just wishful thinking. Chizuru feels uncomfortable with what Nanami said. She even asks Nanami to retract those words, and secretly telling her grandmother everything was wrong. Kazuya is the one who decides this matter. Indeed, prolonging this lie is not right. Chizuru also feels guilty about what happened recently. If Nanami needs it, she can apologize as many times as needed. A lie can make someone happy for a moment, but later on, one will feel sorrowful. This is Nanami's view on lies. Yet Chizuru still wants Nanami to talk more about it. Episode 2. This is the loser 500 youth, who just tried to confess his feelings to Chizuru, but she pushed him away and ran off. So it's not much different from being rejected oneself. To confess to the hired girlfriend is a serious breach of contract. Thinking about Chizuru sleeping with another young man broke his heart severely. Just then, Yuka called. They had planned to meet at 10 for a bath, but it's already lunchtime now. No matter how sad or painful, daily routines must still proceed. Then he went to the swimming pool with Yuka. Although she initiated the conversation, Kazu's reaction was somewhat indifferent. Throughout this trip, Zuka had been holding back for a long time, so now she has to say that she likes him. Being confessed to by such a cute girl is already so blissful. Although he's a loser over 400, being able to love someone, instead of chasing after someone unattainable, he only needs to return to his life before getting involved in the girlfriend rental service. He says this much, but every step he takes brings up the image of that girl constantly. Feelings can't just be abandoned like that. Everyone is playing and doesn't notice him anywhere. Thought he was going to buy water, but actually, he's crying underwater while his brother stands there motionless. After crying, she had to get out of the water. At that moment, Chizuru appeared at the swimming pool. Her male friend still couldn't believe it was the girlfriend who rejected him 6 times. All the boys within 2 meters were looking towards Chizuru. With her impressive bust and fair skin, to be boyfriend material for someone like Chizuru, one must have been reborn many times. Outsiders see it this way, but actually, he had just been rejected. From now on, Chizuru belongs to another man. It's a bit late now. Instead of taking a bath, everyone decided to find a place for lunch. After the two young men left, there was a bit of awkwardness between him and Chizuzu. He thought that the incident at the church made Chizuzu uncomfortable. So he wanted Chizuzu to forget about what happened in the morning. After returning to the city, he would have a breakup talk with her, knowing she would make a big fuss, but would no longer bother her peaceful life. This was also a way to extinguish the flame in his heart from continuing to burn, while the girlfriend rental bill just kept coming through social media. Kazuya wondered what was wrong with Nanami. Before this, Chizuzu had not cooperated with the truth-telling to her. Unexpectedly, Nanami agreed and did not continue wanting to do so. Instead, Chizuzu had to keep this secret from Kazuya this time. She also did not want herself to be despised. Kazuya also thought about being rejected. Nevertheless, when experiencing the rather painful feeling directly, he planned to tell the truth to avoid bothering Chizuzu. The meeting with the rented girlfriend for 2 years is coming to an end. After lunch, they continued going to the pool to play. Though she is so beautiful, Kazuya keeps looking down at her hips. It's even more surprising when Nanami joins in with everyone else. Seeing Chizuzu and Nanami get along makes him feel less tense. Winter is coming soon. Last year saw many events, but also many memories. Besides Chizuzu, he needs to clearly tell Yuka as well. But the chance to travel with 3 beautiful girls like this. A guy like him, who used to earn 400 per hour, never dared to imagine in the past. Kazuya tries to enjoy the last moments before ending his relationship with the rented girlfriend. As they move on to the next location, Nanami deliberately dropped her phone in front of the old lady. Everyone's attitude changed when they saw what was inside. On the screen was the app for hiring a girlfriend, and the one currently displayed was Chizuru. Episode 3. The atmosphere is extremely tense now. Chizuzu is bewildered, not knowing what to do except look towards Kazuya. Nanami deliberately created this situation, but pretends to be innocent with countless sins. Time seemed to stand still as the old lady took out her phone to check. At first, they didn't believe it and thought Chizuzu was working part-time. However, Chizuzu couldn't say or explain anything. Since that time when Kazuya paid rent in front of the apartment, his father has seen it once. Before Kazuya could say anything, Nanami said that she couldn't keep it a secret anymore. No matter what he says under these circumstances, it will be discovered. After keeping quiet for a moment, she said she wanted him to confess in person. They met for 2 years, but recently she has felt somewhat strange. Chizuzu is too perfect to be Kazuya's girlfriend. Nanami suddenly spoke up, making Kazuya think he was being protected. But Nanami then said that she couldn't keep the secret, despite her promise to Chizuzu beforehand. It's just a hired girlfriend who took on an important family position, and since then, Kazuya had to use his own money and work part-time to hire Chizuzu. She has advised her many times, but Chizuru says it's a job. What Nanami is saying is all about Chizuru. Just like Chizuru has been deceiving everyone for so long. Kazuya also bears some responsibility for not revealing the truth sooner. Nanami speaks while crying, but she feels secretly pleased at ruining someone else's happiness. This was a time when Chizuru's grandmother was still alive. Both grandmothers talked about how Chizuru and Kazuya met. Originally, Kazuzu's grandmother didn't believe that a beautiful girl like Chizuru would know her grandson. However, Chizuru's grandmother had different thoughts. She feels that their future will bring happiness. Every romance has its thorns, but it's not worth losing faith over small things. Both of them feel very happy when mentioning this, even coming up with a name for the child after birth. To this day, no one can believe that Chizuzu is a hired girlfriend. Always by each other's side, protecting one another. Kazu even risked his life to swim into the sea to save Chizuzu. Such things cannot be acted out. Everything now puts the blame on Chizuzu. When the child got angry and lunged to punch him, he might not have known. She had been hospitalized for emergency treatment before this trip. Everything was just to compensate Chizuzu after Grandma's passing. Kazu's grandmother intervened to stop everyone from making noise in the resort. Even knowing that everything over the past 2 years was a lie, it was still an incredibly perfect dream. But Chizuzu's grandmother believed her beloved granddaughter had found support. She must have held onto that belief until the very end. If what Nanami said was true. As a close friend, she couldn't overlook it. Kazuya feels that no matter what he says, it's just an excuse for the lie. Since Chizuzu's grandmother has passed away, nothing can be changed before she leaves. Kazuya opened his mouth to tell Chizuzu that she wasn't who everyone thought she was. As for who Chizuzu is, we'll reveal it to you in next week's episode.